Okay. So we left off. I got in trouble for basically what the teacher said to my mom, right? So of course when we get home, my mom, I don't think modern day Cajuns do this still, but what they do is before you get a whooping, you get like a whole lecture, but you have to get on your knees, which is called à genoux. So she put she put me in à genoux, meaning that we have to be on our knees, and it's like you have to sit on your knees while they give you a lecture. I've heard other people had like worse experiences. Like some people had to hold books, and it's just like a whole thing. I guess different Haitians do it, but they first put you on your knees and give you like this whole lecture. So of course she put me on à genoux. Gives me this whole lecture, yelling and screaming, and I'm not listening because I already know I'm going to get a whooping. And I'm like, I know this is going to be a bad whooping because now she's thinking like I'm sitting here playing with boys and all this other stuff, right? So she's going off. And then she's like, what's wrong with you? And before she like hits me with the belt, I was like, I just said, I just want to die. Daddy's gone. My sisters are gone. I don't want to be here anymore. And the way she looked at me was like, she did not expect me to say that. It kind of hit her like, oh, wow. Like I said, I'm still like that too. After a while, I'm going to just tell you the truth. Because I know a lot of people don't like hearing the truth. And sometimes people get offended when you tell them the truth. And when I was little, I used to tell the truth a lot. And it kind of made her stop. And it was like she couldn't, I guess for the first time, like she was lost for words. Like she didn't know what to say to me. And I just started crying and crying and crying. I was like, I miss my dad. I miss my dad, like that. And then all she could do was like, she just looked down and she was like, you know what? Just go to the room. And I just was crying all night. Like, it was just like, it just hit, you know what I'm saying? So now keep all that in mind, right? So I think a couple of months later or something like that, I think we went to go see my auntie for the last time or something like that, because we ended up moving again. Now this time it was in a all-white neighborhood. Middle class neighborhood, which I didn't understand how my mom even got approved for a house in that neighborhood, even to find out now like how much she made back then. So it was kind of a setup, I feel like, for her to fail, because she ended up so we moved into this new house. We moved from our school, and it's an all-white neighborhood. And like I said, the most racism that I've ever encountered was like Haitians versus Americans and light-skinned and dark-skinned type stuff. So when we moved to this neighborhood, I was like, okay, this is a whole new situation. So it had to be during the summer, because our first day of school, mind you, it's like all white people. My mom, she walked us to school, and then we got into the class or whatever, and a couple of days go by, and like she's walking us from school to school, I guess thinking like we're gonna remember how to get home. We're walking, because at this time I think she didn't end up having a car. So my first week was horrible. When I say it was horrible, it was horrible. Mind you, there's two other like full black people, and there's two other mixed kids in my class. Like, I think in the total in my class, because this is like around 5th grade now, there's nothing but all white people. So I knew how many black kids was in the school. And well, in my 5th grade class, including me and my sister and a couple of other people. But I had, like I said, me and another girl and a mixed girl and another boy that was black in my class. Mind you, as soon as, you know, when you have that, that slang, that ebonics and stuff like that, you could tell they've never been around kids that's been from the hood. The first thing I'm always being asked is, because I was 5'7" since I was in 5th grade. So mind you, I had a growth spurt, puberty hit. So I'm developing like crazy. I look like a freaking 14, 15-year-old in the 5th grade. So, mind you, all I'm getting asked is, am I Shaq's daughter? Oh, I look like Shaq. I'm so tall. Why do I talk like that? Why do I dress like that? Because my mom was still making us wear uniforms, and we still was coming to this like middle class neighborhood school where everybody, you could tell, like came from good homes. So I was just like so over it. I'm getting picked on because I'm tall. Then they keep telling me that I look like Shaq. And at that time, I knew who Shaq was because, of course, you know, the commercials around that time. And Shaq was like all... So I knew what Shaq looked like. So now they're telling me like I look like a boy. So I'm like, okay, I don't like this school. I don't like these people. And they keep picking on me. And I remember... I think when my mom had us walk home from school for the first time. Now, this time my brother's in school. We got lost. We got lost in the neighborhood because we didn't know where we were going. And my sister and my brother are depending on me to get us home because, of course, I'm the oldest. So that was already a like, oh my God. Ugh. So we walk back to the school. I'm boohoo crying, and I'm telling the administrator, like, I don't know how to get home. And this is like, we don't have cell phones. We don't have nothing. So they tell me to call my mom at work. So when I call my mom, you can imagine she's going off on me. Like, I'm getting called all types of, you're stupid, you don't know what you're doing, I can't leave work right now. And she just going off on me. I bust out crying even more. So the lady was like, okay, she tried to talk to my mom, and I guess, I don't know what, she couldn't even get to my mom. And so the lady ended up, we had to just sit there until she got off, and she was like, she'll just look at the address and then she'll